Welcome to Curriculum Night. Good afternoon, parents. My name is Rachel Abrams, and I am your child's third grade teacher for this school year. It has been a pleasure getting to know your children so far. As you may know, if you read my welcome newsletter, I have just graduated from Kennesaw State University with my bachelor's in elementary education, and this is my first year teaching. This year has been off to a great start, and I'm glad to see the students accommodating to the classroom structure and community nicely. My favorite thing about being a teacher is helping students connect to the material. I love that moment when you see the students finally understand the content and it is clicked in their minds. As the third grade teachers, we will work as a team to plan lessons. Each teacher is assigned to a subject to create lessons for, and then the lesson plans are shared throughout the team. The third grade team will meet twice a week. Once to discuss lesson planning and grade level activities, and once to discuss assessment results and what is going well and what needs improvement in our classes so that we can get assistance from others. The team bases instruction off student data. We use the student data by seeing what students need to work on and what they have mastered. If the students take a test and everyone gets the same question or questions wrong, we can see that the topic of those questions needs to be reviewed. We can also see about individuals and if most students are getting all of the questions right, but a few students get the same type of questions wrong, we can pull those students to work in a small group with the teacher so that they can receive more instruction, while the students who have mastered the standard can practice the topic but extend it to be more challenging. Formative assessments will be given to see how much students know before teaching a new topic or during a lesson. Once we know what students know and don't know, we can base lessons on it. If there's something that all students seem to know, then it isn't necessary to spend too much time on it. One limitation of formative assessments is that you can't always see why a student gets a question wrong. Some examples of formative assessment are corner quiz, where a question will be read aloud or put up on the board, and then there will be four multiple choice answers with letters assigned to each answer. Each corner will be a specific letter, and students will go to the corner of the answer they think is correct. Another example is concept maps, which is where students will be provided a topic and will be instructed to create a concept map where they will write down what they know about the subject and connect their thoughts. Another example is Kahoot, where students log into the Kahoot game on their Chromebooks and will answer the questions as they are presented on the screen by clicking on the right answer. This is always a class favorite because students review the material in the form of an exciting and engaging game. Summative assessments are done after fully teaching a subject to see whether students grasp the concept. They are more of a final test and they provide more information than a formative assessment does. One limitation of this, though, is that it takes more time because it is a longer test. Students' accommodations will be kept in mind while they are taking the summative assessments. If your child has accommodations, please ensure that they are in the system so that I can best assist your child. Additionally, rubrics will be provided before the assessments. The test results will be confidential and will not be shared publicly. The only people that will know about the student's test grades are myself and the parent/guardian of the student. Testing bias will be prevented by ensuring that the things mentioned in the assessments are all things that students should be familiar with. There are various forms of summative assessments. They are selected communication, written response, performance tasks, and personal communication. Selected communication summative assessments include questions where students are provided answer options and they must choose the right answer. One example of this is math word problems that are multiple choice and students need to circle the correct answer. Written response summative assessments are when there are questions where students are instructed to provide a written response of varying lengths. One example of short answer questions is, one example is short answer questions, which can be done in all subjects. Performance tasks are projects as a form of assessment. One example is creating a game related to a book in English language arts for a major historical event taught in social studies. Personal communication is done by responding through interviews, oral responses, or presentations. One example is each student presenting their findings in the weather. One district diagnostic universal screener in Cobb County that we will be using is the reading inventory. It is given 3 times a year in kindergarten to 9th grade. This screener is given to monitor students' growth in reading and provides a Lexile score afterwards. It is an online test and is limited by students' effort in the test as well as their skills with using technology. If students are unmotivated or not good at using technology, their scores may be affected negatively. This can be prevented by our practicing class, where we will be practicing the proper ways to use technology and familiarizing the students with the online platform. It is also important that you emphasize how important these tests are to your students and make sure that they are prepared in the morning with a filling breakfast and have received a lot of sleep the night before. Iowa assessments are a form of interim assessment in Cobb County that we will be using. They are taken in 3rd and 5th grade in the fall to measure students' accomplishments compared to students across the nation. This gives teachers, parents, and administrators insight to what students know in comparison to what is expected of them to know, as well as what students at the same age know. One limitation of the assessments, however, is that they take 4 days, which is a long time, and students may do worse on assessments such as science and social studies on the 4th day. Although it takes many days, it is important to draw it out so that we aren't assessing the students too many times within one day. We will have plenty of brain breaks before and afterwards. I will provide communication and feedback to students by answering questions that they have about why they got a problem wrong and telling them why they got it wrong and then reteaching the topic that the students didn't understand. I will communicate with families on how students are doing by scheduling a meeting with the parents or guardians, telling them both the things that the students are strong with as well as the things that they need to work on, and showing them the students' work. Although differentiation and accommodation are similar in the way that they are focused on assisting students by making sure their learning needs are met, they are different in how they are applied. Differentiation is when a lesson is adjusted to fit the learning needs of all students in the classroom. This is done by giving students work appropriate to their individual level of knowledge and by fitting the work to align with students' interests. Accommodations are normally only done for students with disabilities or specific learning problems. They are done by giving students things such as extra time on their work, giving students a specific seat in the classroom that best helps them succeed, or in other ways. One way I intend to monitor progress for students in Tier 2 or 3 is diagnostic assessments. These are given when a problem seems to be causing learning difficulties. The purpose is to identify whether a student has a specific learning challenge. The information gained from the diagnostic assessment can inform the teacher of it if the student has a learning challenge and provides information for next steps to take to help the student. One limitation is that the teacher needs to be specially trained to score accurately. Another limitation is that they are time consuming. The Georgia Milestones Assessment, which is taken by all students in Georgia between April 18th and May 17th, students that are in 3rd to 5th grade. They are to see how well the student mastered the standards that have been taught this school year. It is a test that is taken once a year, and the consistency can demonstrate students' growth clearly. The test gives students stress and takes up a lot of time, however, and the pressure that is on the test forces instruction to sometimes be based on preparing for testing instead of on general comprehension. With this in mind, I will be sure to alleviate student stress beforehand and to make sure that the lessons are not solely based on testing and focus on comprehension as well. This concludes our curriculum night presentation. You can reach out to me through my phone number or by my email. If you ever have any questions or would like to schedule a meeting with me, please reach out. This is going to be a great year, and I look forward to seeing your child grow throughout the school year. Have a great evening and